Installing your new rack is easy when you follow these simple steps. First, you'll need some tools, including box cutter, tape measure, pencil, Phillips head screwdriver, a socket driver, power drill to drill your holes, and a spirit level. Check you have the correct size drill bits for your application. The package includes fixings for timber or masonry. If you're fixing a rack to a steel frame or any other material, check your local hardware supplier to make sure you have the correct fixings. Opening your box, you'll find the rack, associated fixings, rear tyre rest, and instructions. You'll notice there are different size fixings included, some specifically for the rack and others for the rear tyre rest. Let's get started. Take the rack out of the box, remove the end caps and then open it up. You'll see which way is the top of the rack by looking for the sticker. Place your rack down on the floor away from the wall. Now take your bike at its normal upright riding position and hold it at right angles to the wall you're going to attach your SteadyRack bike to. Make sure your bike wheel is hard up against the wall. Next, take your SteadyRack bike rack and place it under the front tyre, simulating it hanging on the rack. Get someone to hold the bike still and mark the position of the top of the centre hole on the floor with a pencil. Once you have this measurement, you'll need to add an additional amount. This is to ensure that there is sufficient ground clearance when the bike is hanging in the rack. For bikes up to 22 pounds or 10 kilograms in weight, add an additional 2 inches or 50 millimeters. For bikes over 22 pounds or 10 kilograms in weight, add an additional 3 inches or 75 millimeters. Ideally, you should have between 1 and 3 inches or 25 and 75 millimeters clearance between the back tyre of the bike and the floor. This will ensure the easiest loading and unloading of your bikes. Make sure your rack doesn't move when you're marking the holes. Use the fixings provided to judge how deep your holes need to be drilled. Insert the plastic plugs first when fixing to masonry and the bolts only when fixing to timber. Now you're ready to fasten your SteadyRack to the wall. Make sure the bolts are firm, but be careful not to over-tighten. Now put the end caps back on and you're almost finished. All you need to do now is install the rear wheel support bracket. Put the front tyre of your bike into the SteadyRack. Once it's fully into the rack, the back wheel should remain off the ground. Place the rear tyre rest in between the wall and the tyre so that the centre of the rear tyre rest is in line with the rear axle of your bike. This will be the exact centre of the wheel. Make sure your bike is plumb with the rear tyre rest in position and then mark the top fixing hole with a pencil. Now, take your bike out of the SteadyRack. Using the mark on the wall that you just made, place your bottom bracket so that the hole in the bracket lines up with the pencil mark. Now holding the bracket firmly in place, use your spirit level to ensure the bracket is level and then mark the bottom hole. Be careful not to move the bracket when marking the hole. Place the bracket to one side and drill your 2 holes. Now using the fixings provided, attach the bracket to the wall. You are now ready to use your SteadyRack. Over time, your SteadyRack may become loose. There are 2 tightening bolts located at the top and the bottom of the SteadyRack. Increasing tension on these will help to ensure your SteadyRack stays nice and taut. For more information on how to take care of your SteadyRack, download our care and maintenance instructions on our website.